Hey guys, this is Samir for ThinkDigit, and today we have with us the Gionee Elife E6 smartphone. The smartphone is priced at 21,500 rupees and it brings quite a big slew of features on it. So we're going to take a look and see how the smartphone performs in this review. Starting with the design and the build, as you can see, it has a very industrial rectangular design, very simple but very elegant and beautiful to look at. You leave the smartphone on a table anywhere and people are going to notice it, pick it up and say, which phone is this? It has a really slim form factor at about 7.9 mm in thickness. The phone is really light as well. We can't stress on how light the phone feels in our hands. It almost feels like another phone would without the battery packed in. It's really light, easy, and the design makes it comfortable to hold. It has a unibody design, which means you don't have access to the battery. You have the SIM card slot on the left. You have the volume rocker on the right. The 13 megapixel camera at the back with an LED flash, the front facing camera and the earpiece. You have the navigation buttons at the bottom. The design of the phone is really good and quite top notch considering the price it is priced at. Moving on to the specifications, it has the MediaTek MT6589 turbo chipset powering it with 2 GB of RAM. The 5-inch display is 1080p, that's full HD. The bottom also houses stereo speakers, something like we've seen on the iPhone. So the specifications are pretty good compared to what the others offer. The 2 GB RAM would help it be a lot smoother. The 1080p display makes it a lot more vibrant. The only downside to the specifications is that it has a 2020 mAh battery, which means that you will have to use it a bit conservatively to get through an entire day. Coming to the user interface, the smartphone runs on the Android 4.2 Jelly Bean operating system and it has a skin overlaying it. We've seen a similar skin on the Huawei Ascend P6, which is that there is no apps listing page. The UI is very iOS-ish in nature, which is to say that all the apps you download and install are listed on the home screen. You do have the ability to list apps into various folders as per your requirement, and there is no generic apps and widgets listing page. You can't have widgets. Long pressing on the home screen is not bringing up anything. You have the normal drop down notification, which is very standard Android. Another thing which is borrowed from iOS on the Gionee Elife E6 is the multitasking menu. As you can see, pressing the home button brings up all the apps that you have open, and you can simply close an app by swiping up, similar as it is on iOS. The user interface is pretty interesting considering the fact that it borrows elements from iOS, which is quite a successful operating system. Overall, most of the apps are stock Android, such as the keyboard, but you do have certain aspects which are skinned, and it's pretty interesting. The user interface is going to be a refresh for those that are used to the traditional stock Android. Coming to real-world performance, there is a slight lag that we have noticed while navigating the device. We've heard other devices are pretty smooth, and in general they are, but when you have a lot of apps open in the background running like this and you just navigate the scene, you can see a slight hesitation before the screen transition happens. This is, of course, you can control this by launching a simpler launcher from the Google Play Store that will, of course, help you get a smoother experience. Coming to the typing, as we've said, the keyboard is stock Android, making it very comfortable to type. The keyboard is very responsive. The display is very good. The touchscreen response is good. The preloaded browser on the Gionee Elife E6 is the UC browser. You can navigate through this browser. It's quite all right. We, however, have preferred to use Chrome on the device. Chrome is just a lot more smoother to navigate. As you can see, the browsing experience on the Gionee Elife E6 is quite good. You can really zoom into the text and there is really no distortion on the display. It's quite clear and it's a treat to read content on. The display also has a lot of good viewing angles. You can see this when we play a video.
You're going to have to do for me what I once did for you. You'll need me as well. Side by side to end this war.
So as you can see, games such as Dead Trigger and Real Racing 3 work well on the smartphone. The interface is smooth, the touch controls work well, and the audio is also good. So the smartphone is good for gaming. To conclude, we'd like to say that the Gionee Elife E6 is a really good smartphone. For 21,000 rupees, the price of admission, you get a pretty good package on offer. Gionee, however, isn't that well known a brand in India. If you have a budget of sub 25,000, you also have options such as the Nexus 4 and the Samsung Galaxy S3, which have established their position in India as reliable smartphones. The Gionee works really well, and if you don't mind experimenting with a new UI and a new brand, you can give the Gionee Elife E6 a shot. The smartphone is priced at Rs 21,500 in the Indian market, and we at Digit give it a 3.5 out of 5.